Namaste. Everything comes down to your moon chart. You may have the best car, the best home, the best wife, the best children, and the best parents, and yet you may be suffering due to certain frustration, depression, meaning your state of mind may not be in good shape. So, in spite of having everything, you are suffering. Why? Because your moon chart is disturbed. This moon chart signifies your mind, the state of your mind. When the state of moon chart is good, the state of mind is good. When the state of mind is good, then it doesn't matter whether you are traveling by a bus or whether you are driving a luxury car. You are happy. So what I am trying to tell you all is that the situation, the actual situation on the outside has absolutely nothing to do with your state of happiness. That is why it is said that happiness is an inside job. There is absolutely nothing wrong in seeking happiness, but what is wrong is to seek it on the outside when it is inside, says Bhagwan Raman Maharshi. And so in this beautiful podcast, I have revealed many such insights connected to moon chart and what exactly you can do to improve your moon chart so that your state of mind becomes more better and better. Always remember, everything is connected with our own past karma. Even Buddha is not left out of it. There is a story that says that Buddha was waiting for a man. For a long time he was waiting, and in the evening the man came and he started abusing Buddha. He gave him all kind of abusive words, and Buddha was just listening silently. It takes a lot to stay silent when things are happening on the outside, and you will be able to stay silent only when you have gained certain strength within. Only when there has been certain spiritual practice. And Buddha was an enlightened being, so he was listening and the man was abusing him very badly. And Buddha was not reacting, he was just listening, smiling. And the man said, "Are you mad? Are you crazy? I am abusing you and you are not reacting." And you know what Buddha said? Buddha said, "I was waiting just for that. That was my only balance. And now the accounts are closed." Because he was aware that in the past life, he had abused that person. So this life he was waiting to receive it back. And once it was received, he said, "Accounts are closed. Now I don't want to react again. Otherwise again I will fall in the same cycle. So enough is enough. And I was waiting for you, and you have arrived, and you have done which I knew what you will do, and now the accounts are closed." So the essence of it is that you have to come to the stage where you stop reacting. Many times people comment offensively just to provoke you, to hurt you, and immediately you react, and then you fall in their trap. You should never react. You should only respond, and that too when necessary. Always remember this. This is only for my close followers. And so now, let's begin with this beautiful podcast. If you are following me closely, you will definitely resonate with the sharing of this beautiful, insightful podcast. So let's begin. Whatever is to happen will happen, no matter what you do. And whatever is not to happen will not happen, no matter what you do. So the best course is to stay silent. says the great spiritual master Bhagwan Raman Maharshi. Stay silent is in itself a great achievement, because usually the mind is never willing to stay silent. The nature of the mind is to jump from one end to the other end, meaning the mind is always restless. And so the whole focus comes on the moon chart, since the moon signifies mind in astrology. When Bhagwan says staying silent, he gives you the secret key to real progress. How? I will explain. If you don't stay silent and you continue to react to every situation in your life, then every reaction will lead you into a new karmic cycle. For example, you were denied justice. So then if you take justice into your own hands, then you are creating a new karmic cycle for yourself. Always remember, 99% of the human population is unable to alter their destiny because they simply don't take any efforts towards their self-growth or towards correcting their past life karmic pattern. They simply come into this human world and follow their karmic path and die. There is absolutely no awareness, no efforts towards raising the level of their consciousness. They simply live in ignorance and they also die in ignorance. And so it is widely accepted that nobody can alter the course of destiny. But if you learn to stay silent, then you can alter the course of your destiny. And the most important point is that you will be able to stay silent only when you raise the level of your awareness, your consciousness, by accepting all that is happening in and around your life. When your consciousness expands, you realize the reasons for your current life situation. You realize that it is your past life bad karmas that are now coming back to haunt you and to make you pay for your bad karmas. One should understand that karma is a very, very long cycle, a cycle of many births. So it is obvious that the life we are living at present is just a small part of our past karmic cycles. Because in a maximum lifespan of 120 years, one cannot go through the 1,000 years of his or her karmic dues. And so the small part of past karma that we live now in this birth cycle is called prarabdha karma, whereas the accumulated karma of our many past lives is called sanchit karma. In this life, we all live based on the small part of our past karmic cycle called prarabdha karma. This prarabdha karma is seen through your this life birth chart. In the life of Gautam Buddha, many people came and insulted him, hurt him, but he remained silent because he had attained the state of enlightenment. He knew that all the pain and suffering that came his way had something to do with his past life cycles. Once it happened, Buddha was meditating when a man came and spat on him. Ananda was present. He could not control himself. He said, "I will not leave this man in one piece." Buddha said, "Ananda, he is insulting me and not you. So you don't interfere. He has not spat on your body. This is my body. Secondly, just look at him. In what great trouble he is. Just look at that man. Feel compassion for him. He wants to say something to me, but words are inadequate. That is my problem, my whole life's problem, and I see him in the same situation. I want to relate things to you that I have come to know, but I cannot relate them because words are inadequate. And this man is in the same boat. He is so angry that no words can express his anger. Just as I am in so much love that no word, no act can express it. I see this man's difficulty, hence he has spat. Just see, he has so much of anger for me that he has no words to express, and so he has spat on me. I can understand him. Let him do what he wants to. You remain quiet. The man was listening. He could not believe his ears. He was taken aback. He thought Buddha will get angry. He thought Buddha will react. But Buddha was in peace, in his own bliss. The man was moved. His heartbeat was no more the same. It was beating fast with embarrassment. He fell upon Buddha's feet and he started crying. He said, I am very sorry. It was absolute stupidity on my part to spit on you, on a holy divine man like you. You are something else. You are different. I have never seen a man like you. I haven't seen anybody of your caliber. Please forgive me. Buddha said, there is no question of forgiving. Forgiving is required when you have done something wrong. And I don't see you doing anything wrong. You have just expressed your anger by spitting on me. And now also you are expressing yourself. The difference is that now your expression has evolved from awareness. And the moment you become aware, you start cleansing your karma. So forget about it. The man you spat upon is no more, and the man who spat is no more. You are new, I am new. Look, this rising sun is new. Everything is new, and how can I forgive you? You never spat on me, you spat on somebody who has departed. The moment awareness comes, ignorance departs. Buddha says, the moment you became aware, you start cleansing your karma. The man was no more the same. He had changed. He had transformed. His heart was now filled with love. Once you fall in love with Buddha, you start turning inwards. Because love is contagious. What you love is what you become. Whom you follow is what you become. You will follow only that which is also flowering within you. Awareness was now flowering within that man who spat on Buddha, and it had transformed him inside out. He became the most devoted disciple of Buddha, a lover of Buddha. It is said that when Buddha left his body, he was the one who cried the most. With awareness, karma can be cleansed. With awareness, life can be transformed. If you are living your life with consciousness, then it doesn't matter whether you are a Sikh, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist or Hindu. You are as beautiful as the beautiful rose that you see in your garden. From the very beginning of time, astrology has been a subject of great interest for people across the globe, irrespective of what faith they follow. From the Stone Age, the curiosity of the sky and the stars have been existing. Astrology was and is studied and practiced by Christians, Muslims, Buddhists and Hindus all alike, simply because it is a science that knows no religion. It simply knows only one religion, the religion of consciousness. And so the answer to correcting the future course of your life cycle is in raising the level of your consciousness. Through consciousness, you can correct your moon chart. The moon chart is the only chart that matters the most in the affairs of human life, because the moon signifies the mind and the human population is ruled by their mind. And so, whenever there are difficult transits such as Rahu transit or Mars transit or Saturn transit or Sun transit over the natal moon, and if Sadesati is also running, and on top of that, if you are going through Rahu or Ketu Mahadasha, then it is obvious that your moon chart is spoiled, meaning your state of mind is not going to be in good shape until your planetary transits change for good. So now you may ask the most obvious question: how to prevent the worsening of your moon chart, essentially the condition of your mind from worsening? And the answer is simple, because truth is simple, God is simple, love is simple. The answer is through consistent mantra jap, you can prevent the worsening of your moon chart, essentially the condition of your mind from worsening. It is a simple remedy but extremely powerful for those who are willing to listen and implement it in their daily lives. So what happens when you chant a mantra daily? By daily chanting of a specific mantra, you are able to still the wavering mind. When the mind becomes still, you are in the best position to face all kinds of situations by remaining silent and not reacting. Lao Tzu, the great spiritual master, says, to a mind that is still, the whole universe is available. And so through constant repetition of mantra, the mind can be controlled. Bhagwan Raman Maharshi says, by repetition of mantras, the mind gets controlled. Then the mantra becomes one with the mind and also with the prana, that is the energy that sustains the body. When the words of the mantra become one with the prana, it is termed dhyan. And when dhyan becomes deep and firm, it leads to sahaja sthiti, meaning the natural state, the state of consciousness. Now many people, when they start with their chanting practice, they tend to chant with a specific goal. Always remember, mantra chanting should be non-goal oriented. If you start chanting with a specific goal and if you are in rush, then nothing will ever manifest in your life. Always remember, since there is a backlog of many of your past life negative traits and past life bad karmas, to cleanse all these past life karmic cycles and negative traits, it is going to take a lot of years. And while the cleansing process is happening, if you indulge in any new negative karma, then that will delay the process further. And so the whole process of cleansing and coming to a state of higher consciousness is possible only by the grace of the benevolent Guru. Without Guru, nothing is possible. With Guru, everything is possible. That's why Saint Kabir says that if God and Guru appear before me, then first I will prostrate before my Guru, since it is my Guru who introduced God in my life. Meaning it was only through my Guru that I was able to experience God. God is the ultimate consciousness. But for you to embark on your spiritual journey, it is necessary that the mind is first purified. Bhagwan Raman Maharshi quotes, plunge the purified mind into the heart, then the work is over. This is the essence of all spiritual discipline. How beautiful and deep it is. And so my fellows, everything comes down to your mind, that is to your moon chart, since the state of your mind is signified by the state of your moon chart. That is why all the transit of planets need to be observed and analyzed through the moon chart. That is why Shani Sadesati is triggered when Saturn comes close to your moon. Your Mahadasha is also based on your moon sign nakshatra. And so all the good events and bad events are triggered only through the transits that happen in your moon chart. If you focus on enhancing the quality of your moon chart by daily chanting a specific mantra and doing a minimum of 20 minutes of meditation, then slowly you will be able to make much improvement in your moon chart, leading to a much beautiful and rewarding life. Lahari Mahasay, the Guru of Sri Yukteswar Giri, and Yukteswar Giri is the Guru of Paramahans Yogananda. Lahari Mahasaya says, Banat Banat Banjai, meaning slowly, slowly you attain perfection. And so all you need is consistency. Many people are unable to be consistent in their chanting practice because their past life bad karma comes back to stop them from doing consistent chanting. But it is through determination and deep faith that you need to continue chanting no matter what. Your past life bad karma or present life bad karma may raise many doubts in your mind, may distract you, may plant many negative thoughts in your mind, but you should not pay attention to any of these games. Instead, you should simply continue to chant on a daily basis. To make things easier, you can also start wearing the gemstone of your moon sign lord. I have always mentioned that there is absolutely no problem in wearing the gemstone of your moon sign lord, irrespective of which house it belongs to. By wearing the gemstone of your moon sign lord, you will be able to provide much strength to your mind. Mental strength is required to control the mind. And so if you are struggling due to poor mental strength, then please start wearing the gemstone of your moon sign lord without having any doubts in your mind. To control the mind, it is necessary that when you start chanting, you focus on your breathing. Just by doing so, you will be able to attain the state of no mind. And in that no mind state, you can continue to chant the mantra. Every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Because at some stage, the saint that you see today was also a sinner. And at some stage, in the near future, the sinner that you see today will also become a great saint someday. And history has been a witness to such great transformations. Ratnakar was a thief and a murderer, but time came when the same Ratnakar was transformed and he became Saint Valmiki. The same Saint Valmiki who scripted the greatest scriptures of all time, the Valmiki Ramayana. Saul murdered many Christians. Saul used to hate Jesus, but one day he too was transformed, and to remember his moment of transformation, he changed his name from Saul to Paul, and this is how Saint Paul emerged. And it was this Saint Paul who built many churches in Europe. And there are many such real life examples of transformations. And so no matter how bad your moon chart is now, you can improve, you can change, you can rise. Remember, the real glory is not in never falling, but rising every time you fail. How transformation happens? And the answer is when you start living your life in total surrender. Ratnakar surrendered to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni gave him a mantra to chant, and Ratnakar took to chanting, and within few years he was no more the same. He transformed and attained enlightenment. He came to be known as Saint Valmiki. Saul also surrendered to Jesus. He used to cause much trouble to Christians, but one day, while walking, he fell on the ground and he lost his eyes. He became blind, he started bleeding, and then some Christians carried him to Jesus. And Jesus was such a beautiful man. He moved his hands over those bleeding eyes, and Saul got back his eyes. He could now see Jesus standing before him. He started crying. He fell on Jesus' feet and said, forgive me for all my stupidity." And Jesus raised him up, gave him a hug, and said, "Why you cry? You have arrived." And that is how Saul became Saint Paul. In Christian religion also, there is a practice of chanting specific verses of the Bible. Even the Jews chant specific verses of the Torah, a holy book containing the teachings of Moses. And so chanting has been a practice across all religions and faiths, and it is an open secret that has been known to many. But the larger question is, who is willing to listen? Who is willing to implement it in their life? And so if you are listening, if you are implementing the daily course of chanting mantra in your life, then I tell you, there is absolutely no need to worry. Your mind will not only attain strength, but will also merge in the mantra. And then instead of the mind, it is the mantra that will take over. And then the journey of joy begins. Then the dance, the bliss, the love starts welling up in your heart. This is the way of its happening. This is how it happens. You just need to get started. Enough for now. Jai Sri Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.